All right, Mr. Hennessy.
Meeting will please come to order. This is a duly advertised meeting of the Joliet Zoning Board of Appeals. In our capacity, we hear petitions for relief from the strict provisions of our city ordinance. In matters of this type, the decision of this board is final. In respect, it does not go to the mayor or the city council for any further action. If you disagree with our decision, you do have recourse in a court of record. We also hear petitions for variations of land use. In matters of this type, we act as an advisory committee to the mayor and city council, making a recommendation either for or against it. The final decision on land use is made by the mayor and the city council. Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Bias is absent. Mr. Nachtrieb?
He's here.
Ms. Radakovich?
Here.
Ms. Rohr is absent. Ms. McGrath-Schmig is absent. Mr. Stiff?
Here.
Chairman Hennessy?
He's here.
Before we get started, I do want to make an announcement. We only have 4 members of the zoning board here today, which does meet quorum. However, if you have a case on the agenda that is for a variance or a special use permit that stops at the zoning board of appeals level and does not go on to council, the vote would require either all 4 or a 3-1 vote for your request to be approved. And if you don't like those odds for a 3-1 or a 4-0 vote in favor, then we would entertain a tabling at your request to a different month. So it's up to you, and you can make that decision as your case is called as well. So with that, we will move on to the agenda. The first on the agenda is approval of minutes.
Motion would be in order.
Second.
We need it first.
We need it first, yeah.
Oh. You seconded it? I firsted.
I'll third it. Call the roll.
Mr. Nachtrieb?
Here.
Aye.
Or aye.
Ms. Radakovich?
Aye.
Mr. Stiff?
Aye.
Chairman Hennessy?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Right. Next on the agenda is citizens to be heard on agenda items. This section is for anyone wanting to speak regarding agenda items and are allowed a maximum of 4 minutes. It is not a question and answer period, and staff and the Zoning Board of Appeals members do not generally respond to public comments. So I want to note here that everything on the agenda today is a public hearing. So you are welcome to talk now if you're here for a specific agenda item, but you are also welcome to talk during the public hearing, during which your speaking will be entered in as testimony. So is there anyone who would like to speak now? Okay.
Good afternoon, Board.
I swear you win, sir. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present to be the truth under penalty of law?
I do.
Your name and address.
Anthony J. Romaniak Jr., 600 Springwood Drive, Joliet, Illinois.
You have the floor.
All right. I'm here about the sign that the coffee shop wants to put up across the street from our subdivision. Already, we have the Dollar General that has their sign up and burns 24 hours. And where the coffee shop wants to put up their sign, if you take note of the area, we have buildings that are on a different elevation from where they want to put that sign. So right now, if they put a sign up and it was illuminated, it doesn't bother us because we have bushes and trees that block it. But as you know, come wintertime, that sign's going to glare in people's bedroom window. So what we would like to appeal is, we understand commerce is going to have their way. There's no doubt about it in my mind. But we would like to regulate the amount of time that all those lights are on. we're already experiencing more truck traffic than ever in the area because of the bridge that was put in. So we've been a good neighbor to Joliet. We've cut the grass for the city, and we've took care of the parkway for the city, cleaning it. So all we're looking for is a time limit on all these lights so that people will be able to at least go to sleep at night and wake up in the morning rested. And that's what I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Come on forward. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present to be the truth under penalty of law?
I do.
Your name and address?
Rebecca Studer, 3623 Forest View Drive, Joliet. Okay, I live in Forest View. Springleaf is across the street from us I live on. I don't know, could you explain to me exactly, oh, excuse me, the notice I got says, a variation on signage to allow a wall sign that does not face a public way located at 480 Humboldt, Council District 5. Where exactly, from what I see, is that going to be on the corner? Would be the southeast corner of Humboldt and McDonough? Is that where this sign, wall sign is going to be?
Jean?
Can you tell me exactly where?
It's the existing Starbucks on Hobart Road.
It is going to be on the building or?
It's on the building.
On the building.
Yep.
And I mean, is it like, why do they need permission to put this, where exactly it's going to be? Like above the building, a big sign, or?
It's going to be on the building.
Because there already says Starbucks on the side of the building, so what exactly do they
Because
want?
our regulations, for whatever reason, in the year 2025, state that signs are not allowed on the side of a building that do not face a public way. We field numerous variance requests like this throughout the years. We're contemplating updating our sign regulations, but as of right now, they are required to apply for a variance if they would choose to want a sign that does not face a public way, so that residents like yourself could evaluate and come to a meeting like this and have voiced your opinion about whether you think that's appropriate based on the existing conditions in that neighborhood and in the site.
Thank you. So I'm still not clear. It says Starbucks on the side of that building, which faces, it would face, it's facing the south, but it doesn't light up. So are they asking for something different, or are they asking for permission to leave that sign there where it is?
So
The
at this
letters.
point, this is citizens to be heard on agenda items. I would suggest you come back up to the podium during the actual public hearing for that agenda item, and during which we will have images that probably will answer your questions. But so
That's
at this
what I
time, I can't even answer your question without looking at it again.
Right, and I don't want to speculate. I'd like to know.
Exactly. Yep.
I got this, and
Yep.
I would like to know exactly where and what
Mm-hmm.
it is, or, so thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else? Come on up. Lower the mic, please.
Okay, good
Do you
afternoon.
swear the evidence you're about to present to be the truth under penalty of law?
Yes,
Your name and address?
my name is Tony Reminiak. I live at 600 Springwood Drive, Joliet, Illinois, across from the Starbucks, the Springwood subdivision. And I want to know also why not everyone got a letter in the mail. We only know about this meeting because of our neighbor. And why wasn't it available in the Herald so that other people could see it? Maybe not just the homeowners, but other people, at least to make sure people see and hear about it. Or why wasn't it in a newsletter that comes, with the spring or the fall notice?
The signs have to be within a certain distance by law from certain locations. If you're outside that distance, it wouldn't be necessary to put a sign there. Do you want to explain that?
Yeah, so just backing up, this is our monthly zoning board of appeals meeting. There's several other agenda items on this meeting agenda, and every month we have multiple agenda items. We have a plan commission meeting at 4, typically 2, where we process cases. So the city follows state law with notifying owners who live within a certain few hundred feet of the property. So the city's standard requirement is notifying property owners within 600 feet of the subject property that is in question today. So that's the notice that the previous speaker had shown, and what that you may have received as well, that outlines within that public notification boundary. It visually shows who was notified with a letter of this meeting. The applicant is also required to post a sign at the front of their property on a public way to notify people who may be driving by, who didn't get the letter, who also want to know more about the project. The third thing that the city does following state law and our local requirements is that we do post notice of this meeting and this particular request in the labor record, which is a legal notice newspaper of general circulation.
Okay, so when is this other meeting supposed to take place where we could speak again?
There's no
Or
other
view-
meeting.
Or view
I'm just making you
whatever.
aware that this is a standard meeting that happens once a month. You know, cases like this are heard. We're following our standard notification procedure.
Okay, you said we could view what they're proposing, so where can we view that to see what type of sign they're looking at?
So the city's webpage has, under meetings and agendas, you can find the staff report packet that would go with the particular request, and that was posted last week, again, following our posting and posting notification requirements.
And we have no say-so on what that aesthetic will look like? Because
Well,
it could
you're-
be gaudy, it could be nice, we don't know.
So you're here now, so you saw the notice, you came, and when we get to that agenda item, the staff will explain the request. There will be images on the screen, and then if you'd like, you can engage with the topic at that point.
Okay,
Yep.
all right. Can I ask a question or let you know of
Not
something
from back
else?
there, hold on.
I mean, I can answer public notice questions right now, but if you have a question about the particular request, this is not the appropriate time to do that.
So I can't say anything else.
Well, again, the public hearing hasn't started for that particular agenda item. We haven't even started going through the agenda, so there will be an opportunity for you to come back up and ask a question about this particular sign. But I'm happy to answer general questions about procedure and how we notify the public.
Or another item. I would like to ask something about something else, some other service.
Okay, well then, at the end of the meeting, we have a place on the agenda called public comments. So if you have something to talk about that's not an agenda item, you can come up and ask a question at that time.
Oh, so after this meeting, I can talk to you?
It's not a meeting, it's on the agenda. I mean, sure, at the end of the meeting, you can talk to me after the meeting,
Yeah, I
yes.
just want to ask you one question, that's
Yeah,
all.
I will be here after the meeting, yep,
Okay, thank you.
yep.
Is a radius, and according to this,
Hey, direct everything to the board, please.
I'm sorry,
Direct all your comments to the board or to Jane over there.
you're well within that radius.
Oh.
Why did you not get?
Yeah, I'm still in that radius, and yes, like I said, I didn't get a letter.
Okay. We
And
can
I
look
was-
into that if you would like,
Yeah.
after the meeting.
I mean, I understand why she got it. She is closer to the street, and we are on the other side of her, but we still have the visual of lights from in between buildings. Yeah. Okay. That's all.
Let's go. That it? Let's proceed with the agenda.
Okay. Everything on the agenda is a public hearing, so anyone who's here to speak on an agenda item, you'll have another opportunity to do that when the actual agenda item is called, okay? Just to clarify that. Next on the agenda is old business public hearing. We have no agenda items under that category, which brings us to new business public hearing. And the first agenda item is petition 2025-35, which is a variation of use to allow a mixed-use structure. Is the applicant here for this request?
It's 616 Williams.
Yeah, you're here on behalf, okay, you could stay seated for a moment. Okay. The applicant in this matter is Bipin Sharma. He is the owner of the property. The location is 616 Williamson Avenue. This is Council District 4. And again, the request is a variation of use to allow a mixed-use structure. Under purpose, the applicant is requesting a variation of use to allow a mixed-use structure in the R3, which is a 1 and 2 family residential zoning district. The existing structure, which was built around 1906 as a church, would contain one dwelling unit on the basement level and an open space, formerly used for religious assembly, on the main level. While a dwelling unit is permitted in the R3 zoning district, a mixed-use structure where 2 principal uses would exist is not permitted. Therefore, the property needs a variation of use to allow a mixed-use structure that contains a dwelling unit in the same building as a non-residential use. This variation of use request must be considered by the City Council following the recommendation of the Zoning Board of Appeals. Under site-specific information, the subject property is approximately 64 feet by 134 feet and contains a 1-story church built around 1906. The building was used as a church since its construction until at least 2018. The petitioner purchased the property in November of 2023, and the property is zoned R3, 1 and 2 family residential. The main level of the building was used for religious services and is still set up this way. According to the petitioner, the basement level was set up as a dwelling unit with the current floor plan when they purchased the building. The unit contains 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, a living room, and a kitchen. The basement level dwelling unit has its own separate entrance on the north side of the building, as well as a rear door on the south side. The basement level does not have any interior connections to the main level. For surrounding zoning, land use, and character, the property is located in the Collins Street neighborhood on the south side of Williamson Avenue. The zoning and land use for the adjacent properties are as follows. To the north is R3, 1 and 2 family residential, and it's an institutional use as a church. To the south is R2, single family residential, and it's a residence. To the east is R3, 1 and 2 family residential, and it's a residence. To the west is R2, single family residential, and it's undeveloped. For applicable regulations, we have section 47-7.1, which is the R3, 1 and 2 family residential zoning district permitted uses, and section 47-1728, which is a variation of use. For discussion, the petitioner, Bipin Sharma, is requesting a variation of use to allow a dwelling unit in a non-residential use within the same structure in the R3 zoning district. The basement level of the building will contain 1 dwelling unit. The main floor, which was previously used as a church and is still set up as a church, will be used for the owner's personal storage. The petitioner states that they do not have plans to utilize the main floor as a church. Yes, the petitioner states they currently do not have plans to utilize the main floor as a church. Just want to make sure I said that right. Approval of the variation of use will allow the structure to contain 1 dwelling unit along with a separate space that is not part of or accessory to the dwelling unit. If the owner wishes to use the main floor for a use other than storage or a religious institution, they would need to apply for additional building permits and zoning approvals as needed. According to the petitioner, the basement level was set up as an apartment when they purchased the property. Since that time, the owner has performed minor upgrades to the apartment, such as painting walls and floors and tiling the bathroom. The property does not currently contain any paved parking spaces. The zoning ordinance requires 2 parking spaces for a single dwelling unit. The owner proposes to install a paved driveway along the east side of the building to fulfill the parking requirement. And if the variation of use is approved, the apartment will need to be enrolled in the city's rental inspection program. The property would then be inspected for compliance with residential property codes and building codes. The owner will be responsible for making any required updates to the property prior to the issuance of a rental inspection certificate through the rental inspection program. For conditions, if the zoning board desires to approve this variation of use to allow a mixed-use structure in the R3, which is the 1 and 2 family residential zoning district at 616 Williamson Avenue, the following conditions would be included. 1, that the property shall be enrolled in and comply with the city's rental inspection program. 2, that the required off-street parking shall be provided prior to the issuance of the rental inspection certificate. 3, that the use of the property shall not be expanded in the future. And 4, should the property be declared as a public nuisance, the property may be subject to a rehearing and possible revocation of the variation of use. And that concludes staff's report.
Petitioner here. Come on forward. Have to swear you in, sir. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present to be the truth under penalty of law?
Yes.
Name and address.
Dennis Carr, 829 Elizabeth Street, Joliet.
Go ahead.
So I'm here on behalf of the owner. I manage all his properties for him. Basically, it boils down to what she said. When we purchased the property, there was basically like a one-bedroom apartment set up in the basement. We're just looking to be able to utilize that for rental residential. The main floor we haven't done anything with except pretty much just clean it up, and he's going to use it for personal storage.
Okay, any questions by the board?
What do you plan to store in the main level?
So the owner has other properties and businesses. Files, inventory for some of the other buildings. We have a couple of treatment programs in town here. So it's basically just going to be utilized as his personal storage unit for like inventory, some tools, files for previous years. Nothing of like any kind of like insignificant value or anything. It's just personal stuff.
Any other questions by the board?
No.
Is there anybody in the audience? Hold on. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to speak in favor of this petition? Is there anyone opposed? Is there somebody back there? Somebody had their hand up a minute ago. Do you want to talk on this?
I just want to ask a question.
Do you have a question on this item? Come on forward.
I just want to ask the owner or the...
Ma'am, wait till you get to the mic. We have to record this.
All right.
You've been sworn in, so go ahead.
Yes. I just want to ask the owner or the representative of the owner if they eventually plan to run a business out of the upstairs, the church area. And if they do, is it zoned for business? That's all. So,
Yeah, yes.
I mean, I could answer the question. So it's not zoned for business.
No.
We've indicated a couple times in the staff report, it's zoned R3, which is residential use only. As stated in the staff report, the only allowed uses would be storage, if approved, and a religious institution, and then a dwelling unit, if approved. Again, the property could be used in its entirety as one single-family or dwelling unit, but it cannot be used for a single-family dwelling and another use. Like, again, that's why it's a mixed-use structure. So if there was any plans for a business at this location, they would have to come back, just as the staff report said, again, through a process.
Anybody else wishing to speak in opposition? Chair closes the petition. Ask the board for discussion and a vote.
I move we approve. I second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the petition. Poll the board.
Mr. Stiff?
Aye.
Mr. Nachtrieb?
Aye.
Ms. Radakovich?
Aye.
Chairman Hennessy?
Aye.
Okay, this will go forward to the city council with a recommendation for approval. This will likely be heard at the second council meeting in October. Do we know what date that is? I always ask this. October 21 is the tentative date for that. Yep, October 21. Sorry? No, we'll be in contact. It's the city council meeting. It'll be at 6:30 on Tuesday night. Okay. All right, next on the agenda is case number 2025-36. The applicant is Integrity Sign Company. The status of the applicant is the sign contractor. The owner is Joliet Hobart Road LLC. The location is 480 Hobart Road, which is Council District 5. The request is a variation on signage to allow a wall sign that does not face a public way. Under purpose, the applicant is requesting a variation on signage to allow a wall sign that does not face a public way for a new Starbucks restaurant at 480 Hobart Road. The Zoning Board of Appeals makes the final decision on this variation request. For site-specific information, the property is 1.6 acres and contains a new Starbucks restaurant constructed in May of 2025. The site includes a drive-through and an accessory surface parking lot. The property is zoned B1 neighborhood business. For surrounding zoning, land use, and character, the property is located in the Silverleaf Commercial Subdivision on the east side of Hobart Road, south of McDonough Street. The zoning, land use for the adjacent properties, zoning and land use for the adjacent properties are as follows. To the north is R1A, single-family residential, and there is a detention pond. To the south is B1 neighborhood business, and it's a commercial use. To the east is R4 multifamily residential, and it's residential use. And then to the west is R4 multifamily residential, and it's a residential use. For applicable regulations, we have section 47-17, number 21 for signs, and then we have section 47-17, 21, 3BB, which is criteria for granting a sign variation. For discussion, the petitioner and sign contractor, Integrity Sign Company, seeks to install a wall sign that does not face a public way on the new Starbucks building at 480 Hobart Road. The City of Joliet zoning ordinance does not allow wall signs that do not face a public street in the B1 neighborhood business zoning district. The proposed wall sign would be 25 square feet in area, located above the drive-through on the north elevation. The proposed sign would help identify the site for traffic approaching from the north. The site has an existing wall sign on the main west side of the building, a monument sign near the driveway entrance, and several directional and drive-through signs. The total sign area for the site, including the proposed sign, would not exceed the permitted 120 square feet. Staff finds that the request meets the following criteria for sign variations. 1, that the proposed use would not be detrimental to the use or development of other property in the area. 2, that ownership of the property has been demonstrated. And 3, approval of the variation would not be contrary to the objective of improving the overall appearance of the city. This sign will face a detention pond and will not alter the essential character of the area. And for conditions, we are suggesting none. And that concludes staff's report.
Petitioner present. You swear the evidence you're about to present to be the truth under penalty of law.
Yes.
Name and address.
Austin Davis, and then 5561 Ellen Court, Oak Forest.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Starbucks, from Integrity Sign Company. Starbucks contacted us to install the sign on that north elevation above the drive-through window to help establish identification from that intersection of Hobart and McDonough. They believe heading east and west on McDonough, it would help Starbucks have identification at that intersection.
That it?
Mm-hmm.
What's the lumens on that light? How bright is it going to be?
Is there lighting?
Yeah, it's lit. I don't know the exact lumens on it. I don't.
Okay.
We didn't manufacture the sign. We just installed it. But
They intend to keep those lights on, what, 24 hours or?
We can adjust the time if needed. I know residentials voice their opinion. We can have a timer on there where it would turn off at whatever time feels necessary.
Or to dim them down?
Yeah, or to dim them down. We could do a dimmer switch too. Yeah.
Okay, any questions by the board?
Jane, is that something that should be covered by the city
condition?
staff? The business of the lighting on the sign and the timing that it's on?
So, I mean, we don't usually, unless, city regulations would already govern what would fall to be a nuisance, so, planning staff don't evaluate the lumens of the signs. Our building division does that through the electrical permit, which they would have to pull. They would flag anything that would seem out of ordinary. So I don't know if that answers your question. If the zoning board of appeals wants to make as a condition of approval whatever you have your discussion about regarding the lighting, then you would want to make that in your motion for whether you approve or deny, or so make sure that you're on par with making that motion as a part of the
That motion we made only if we necessary.
if you want that. So if you're asking how we evaluate lumens, hopefully I answered that, but if you want to still make a motion regarding doing something further, then that's your call.
I don't
Okay.
think we need to do anything further. I just didn't know
Yeah.
how involved the city would be if this is in a residential neighborhood, and if the sign faces residences, presumably the city would have something to say with the brightness or how the sign should.
So, okay, then maybe I'll answer further. Our evaluation is that it doesn't face residential locations per se, because it's facing directly into the detention pond. Now, could you catch a glimmer of that from the backyards of those? I mean, yes. So I think that was why we landed with our finding as in the staff report. But
Any other
certainly
questions by the board?
those two residential properties would be able to see it, yes.
Anybody in the audience wish to speak in favor? Anyone opposed? You've been sworn in already, sir.
yes. I also forgot to mention that I'm a director on the HOA at Springwood Condominium Board. When I was up here last, I'm one of the directors. We would not be adverse to that sign if it was shut off at the end of the day of business. They can put their, I mean, we understand commerce. I know, but at the end of the day of business, people need, they stay open till 9. That's their time. If that sign was off at 9, we don't, we're more than glad to be a good neighbor with them.
Well, within the conditions stated all by law, the requirement, even if this is passed with no conditions, if it becomes a public nuisance, you could bring it up again at a later date.
Mhm.
That's all I have to say
Well,
about it.
but could is it your board to make the restriction on the time of illumination?
If we think it's required, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe a discussion with the.
We
with
can
the folks
discuss
at-
that later.
Yeah, maybe
Okay,
you could
very good.
discuss that with them.
Thank you.
I just guess I want to clarify for the zoning board. I'm not saying you can't make a condition. I was just pointing out that how we go about doing our evaluation at the staff level. If you as zoning board members feel that this is something that you want to impose as a condition, and if you want my response about how is it feasible to, I mean, the sign contractor said they can work with you, so I did not invoke state law.
No,
Just want
we
to clarify.
understand that. That's okay. Jim.
Okay.
Anyone else wishing to speak in opposition? Do you swear the evidence you're about to present to be the truth under penalty of law?
I do.
Name and address.
Mary Adams, 553 Silverleaf Drive, Joliet, Illinois. My question is this sign going to be even with the building or taller than the building? Because
It's on the building.
it's on the building, so it's not going to be above it. I wasn't quite clear about that. But if that's the case, then it won't affect me because I'm on the other side of the Social Security building, which is south of that. So that was my question.
That it? Chair closes petition, asks the board for discussion and a motion.
Move we approve. I second it.
Call the board. Call the roll.
Mr. Nachtrieb?
Aye.
Ms. Radakovich?
Aye.
Mr. Stiff?
Aye.
Chairman Hennessy?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay. That request was approved. All right, next on the agenda is petition 2025-37. The applicant is Marcio Fence Company. The owner is the Roman Catholic Diocese, and it's the Queen of Apostles Parish. The location is 18 Woodlawn Avenue. The request is a variation to increase a maximum fence height in a residential zoning district from 6 feet to 7 feet, as well as from 6 feet to 8 feet. Under purpose, the applicant is requesting a variation to increase the maximum fence height from 6 feet to 7 feet and 8 feet for a proposed fence along the east and south sides of its property at 18 Woodlawn Avenue, per section 47-17.6 of the city's zoning ordinance. Fences constructed within a side or rear yard shall not be higher than 6 feet. The Zoning Board of Appeals will make the final decision on this variation request. Under site-specific information, the subject property is 7.24 acres in size, and its location is the Queen of Apostles Parish and School. The property is mostly zoned R2 single-family residential with a very small portion zoned B1 neighborhood business at its southeast corner. The applicant wishes to construct fencing as shown in the attached aerial exhibit along the south and east sides of the property. Fencing along most of the east side of the property would consist of a 7-foot-tall black chain link fence. Fencing along the south side of the property and southern portion of the east side of the property would consist of an 8-foot-tall black chain link fence with slats for added privacy. The applicant has stated that the fencing is desired to prevent trespassing onto the property and to keep students and parishioners safe. For surrounding zoning, land use, and character, to the north we have R2 single-family residential and its single-family residences. To the south is B1 neighborhood business and it's a commercial use, it's the McDonald's. To the east is R4 low-density multifamily residential, which is St. Paul Estates townhomes, and then B1 neighborhood business and its commercial uses. And then to the west, we have R2 single-family residential, single-family residences, and B1 neighborhood business commercial. For discussion, the applicant seeks to install a 7-foot and an 8-foot tall fence along the south and east sides of the subject property. The southern portion of the subject property directly abuts the parking stalls and trash enclosures situated along the northern edge of the McDonald's property to the south. Debris from the trash enclosure often blows into the subject property. The property owner has cited concerns with trespassing along this area as well. The proposed fencing would provide a clear demarcation in the boundary between the McDonald's property and the subject property. The subject variation request is necessary since the zoning ordinance restricts fence height to 6 feet within side and rear yards, where the proposed fencing would be located. While it is less common in residential zones, it is not uncommon for security fences within commercial or industrial areas to be 8 feet tall. It is also not unusual for properties with residential zoning that abut commercial zones to have a fencing or landscaping buffer. Solid fencing can be found throughout the West Jefferson Street corridor in these areas where residential and commercial zones meet. Therefore, staff does not believe that the requested variation will alter the essential character of the locality if granted. And for suggested conditions, staff has identified none. And that concludes staff's report.
Petitioner here. I swear you in, sir. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present to be the truth under
I do.
penalty of law?
My name is Michael J. Marcio. I
Fine,
live at
but first let's swear to that.
19717.
Do you swear to tell the
Spencer Road.
truth? Yes or no? I didn't hear you answer the yes or no.
Yes,
Okay, now your address.
I did. My hearing's a little bad.
Go ahead.
In the back by McDonald's, it's a lot of traffic goes there through there. People actually pull in there like they're going to McDonald's and get out and go to the car and leave all their papers and snacks in the drive.
Sir, could you put the microphone up to your face, please? Good, thank you.
I'm sorry. And a lot of other things are going on there. They have people living in the back part of that empty lot, just on the back side of the, where it's covered up there. That would be the strip mall. There's a piece of grassy knoll there and some trees. They spend the night there day in and day out, drinking beer and leaving a big mess. And we just like to be able to close that one area off, all the way up past the strip mall and stop right there with an 8-foot high fence and put slats in it. That way they can't climb it. And then just take off and just put the rest of it from the mall, that little strip mall, all the way back so we can see it on the map there, right by the water there, and we'll stop right there and take a piece of wrought iron and tie it right back to that fence. And when you put a black vinyl fence, you can't see it. It turns almost invisible because everything in that foreground is spots of black. It's real hard to see. If you're driving by and you looked at a white fence, that's all you could see, and the whole yard is white. Where you look at a black vinyl, you can hardly see it. So it's not a bad fence at all. It's one that will last the church for a long time.
That it? Any questions by the board?
Yeah, is the fence that's on the McDonald's side,
Yes.
is that going to be behind that wall, that cement wall, or in front of it?
I was going to put it behind it.
Okay.
And the reason for that is that the property is right there
It's
behind
right
it.
behind.
And you actually have to step up to get on the other side there. That wall is probably,
It was a couple feet, right?
yeah, a couple feet. Yep. I allow people to sit there and drink and carry on. And a lot of traffic goes through there. And our kids in the playgrounds, we just don't want a whole bunch of people just on that back end where we don't have no control over the cars on the outside or the inside either, because they'll pull right back in. They don't care. And we just don't want nobody grabbing one of the kids, you know. You don't know what's going to happen. But so far, well, it's holding up. But I seen fist fights and 2 girls fighting on the ground there. And I've never seen anything like that in my entire life, you know. So.
Any further questions by the board? Is there anybody in the audience wish to speak in favor? Is there anyone opposed?
We had somebody.
Scoot over.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay, yep.
Lower the mic.
Good
Do
afternoon,
you swear
everyone.
the evidence you're about to present to be the truth on the penalty of law?
Yes.
Name and address.
Mary Brown, 136 Andrew Terrace Court. I am the president for the Association of St. Paul Estate. So I just want to know exactly what kind of fence he's going to put up there, if it's going to be like the one we already have. We have a fence halfway in there. I agree with him. We should put that entire back needs to be fenced out, but I just want to ensure that it doesn't, for the people that's living on that side of the street, it's not messing up the integrity of the property with, putting up an enclosed fence. I just want to verify exactly, is he going to continue with the fencing that we have there, or if he's going to use a different kind of fence? That's what I want to know.
We're putting up a black vinyl fence. It's almost transparent. When you look at it, you won't even hardly know it's there. But it keeps a lot of traffic from running back and forth between the streets. And in that, like I say, in that back corner, we were having all the problems with vagrants and
Picture of the
people.
fence that she's
So
referring to.
that fence will match the fence that's by their retention pond, correct?
Yes, you go all the way back to the retention.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll be down there by the houses. That the 7-foot fence is where those trees are on the right side there, and run straight back all the way nonstop to their existing fence.
Well, just to clarify, so the fence that you're proposing, Mr. Marcio, is a black chain link fence, so it's not the same fence that they have.
Yes, I'm sorry, I lost it there for a minute. Yeah, it's black, rhino.
Yeah, it's not the wrought iron style fence.
It's not wrought iron, but
It is different.
Yeah. It's all the way down. No, that's a wrought iron fence.
This meeting
Could you,
is
could you please
insane.
come up to the, Mr. Marcio, could she come up to the mic?
I just want to know, can you just use the same black fence that we have and just have that all the way down?
It just won't hold up. I mean, what's going on back there is not gonna hold up. Where the chain link will hold up, and for a good long time, maybe 50 years. Okay.
Mr. Marcio, does the church have an existing black chain link fence? I don't know if it's by the, looks like it's on the north by the parking lot?
Yes, we just put one in around the playground area.
And that's kind of the same thing you're planning on doing?
Exactly what we're gonna put out.
Do you know where the playground area is? Have you ever seen that fence?
Speaking to the microphone, please.
What I'm saying is that fence, I just feel like aesthetically it just won't look right. So, especially how he's going to put it in the middle. If you want to put that like after the houses, that lot is for sale right now. So when they sell it, I'll be okay with that. But I just feel like aesthetically it just won't look right with just having half the houses with the iron fence and then just putting that kind of fence next to it.
There's a big difference in cost. Father Michael's just getting rolling. He's got so much to do there. So that would be the most effective, and it'll last. It ain't gonna fall apart. We use nothing but the top grade material, so you can lean on it. You can do everything. It's gonna stand up. Wrought iron. You can hit it with a baseball bag and break the aluminum pickets off it, and they're not really strong. You can grab it and pull it apart. You will not be able to pull that.
Will they be able to climb over it easily?
We put an extra foot on it so they wouldn't be able to climb over it. We added that foot, and then as it goes towards the back, from the back of that strip mall, from where the trees are, that first tree begins, it'll be 8 foot from there all the way to the back, across the back, and ties into the building. You see that building right there at number 3? To the right of that, it'll tie into that, and that's where we stop right there. And that keeps all the traffic, bikes, cars come right through them over there on, what street is that? That's Campbell. They drive right through that lot, kids in the lot, it's crazy. So we'll slow all that down.
I'll be okay with that.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, if there's no one else in objection, the chair is going to close the petition to the floor and ask the board for discussion and a motion.
Motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the petition. Poll the board.
Mr. Radokovich?
Aye.
Mr. Stiff?
Aye.
Mr. Nachtrieb?
Aye.
Chairman Hennessy?
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, this request was approved. So you can proceed with a building permit for the fence. Okay. All right, next on the agenda is petition number 2025-38. The applicant is Efrain Maldonado. The status of the applicant is owner, and the location is 501 Stockton Drive, Council District 5. The request is a variation to reduce the corner side yard setback to allow installation of a shed. Under purpose, the applicant is requesting the following variation to allow the installation of a shed on their property at 501 Stockton Drive. The variation is to reduce the required corner side yard setback from 20 feet to 6 feet. The Zoning Board of Appeals makes the final decision on this variation request. Under site-specific information, the subject site is a corner lot that is 90 feet by 130 feet and contains a 2-story residence built in 2007. The lot coverage for the existing house is around 18%. The property is zoned R1B, which is single-family residential, and is located at the northeast corner of Stockton Drive and Holland Drive. For surrounding zoning, land use, and character, the property is located in the estates at Cedar Creek Residential Subdivision and is surrounded by residential lots with R1B single-family residential zoning. For applicable regulations, we have section 47-5 B4, which is R1B district yard and lot requirements. We have section 47-17(3), which is yards required for corner lots. And then section 47-19.8, findings of facts supporting a variation. For discussion, the approval of the requested variation would allow the owner to install a shed with a setback of 6 feet from the corner side yard property line. The required corner side yard setback in the R1B district is 20 feet. The shed would be located at the northwest corner of the property and would be 10 feet off the rear property line in order to stay out of the rear yard public utility and drainage easement. The proposed shed is 10 feet wide and is 12 feet long, with a roof peak height of 8 feet 3 inches. The owner wishes to place the shed in the proposed location due to the location of existing trees in their backyard. A plat of survey, site plan, and a shed illustration are included in the staff report packet. Staff does not find an exceptional hardship for this request, but does find that the combination of the existing trees and the 10-foot rear yard utility easement limits the possible locations for the shed on this site. Staff also finds that the granting of the variation will not alter the essential character of the area. The proposed shed has a low profile and is designed for use in residential areas. The location of the proposed shed will also not impact the front yard of the property at 500 Holland Drive, as the house and front yard face north. For suggested conditions of approval, staff has suggested none. And that concludes staff's report.
Petitioner here? You swear the evidence you're about to present to be the truth under penalty of law.
I'll do.
Name and address.
Efrain Maldonado, 501 Stockton Drive, Joliet, Illinois.
Go ahead.
I don't have any more things to add to this petition,
Okay.
other than I have a 3 and the 20 feet
Any questions by the board?
requirement.
So the shed's currently existing, correct?
Yes.
As stated by the secretary, it meets all the requirements except hardship. Except hardship is not required if there's a practical difficulty, which has been established by the trees and the easement. So even though it was constructed without proper petitions or anything else, it does meet all the requirements. This is for the record. Any questions by the board? Anyone in the audience wish to speak in favor? Lower the mic. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present to be the truth under penalty of law?
Yes.
Name and address.
My name is Zenaida Bradley. I live at 414 Stockton. He's our corner lot neighbor. He always takes care of his yard and his house really well. I think the shed looks great where it's at. I don't think it's in any way or the aesthetics to the trees and everything else that they do in their yard. I mean, they just put a roof and siding. He's been there since 2009. We've been there since 2011. So I hope that there's not a problem with that shed. It looks really nice. So that's all. Thank you.
Anyone else? Chair closes the petition, asks the board for discussion and a motion.
Move we approve. Second.
Pull the board.
Mr. Stiff?
Aye.
Mr. Nachtrieb?
Aye.
Ms. Rodakevich?
Aye.
Chairman Hennessy?
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, that request was approved, so I proceed with your building permit. Okay, thanks. All right, next on the agenda is petition number 2025-39. The applicant is Drury? Yeah. Development Corporation. The owner is Cullinan Joliet LLC. Location is the northeast corner of Gateway Boulevard and Sandstone Drive. The request is a variation to allow 9 feet by 18 feet parking spaces. The applicant is requesting a variation to allow 9 feet by 18 feet parking spaces for a future hotel that would be located at the northeast corner of Gateway Boulevard and Sandstone Drive, within the Rock Run Collection planned unit development. Per section 47-15H 11 of the city's zoning ordinance, parking stalls are to be a minimum of 9 feet wide and 180 square feet in size. The proposed stalls would be only 162 square feet in size. The Zoning Board of Appeals will make the final decision on this variation request. For site-specific information, the subject property is approximately 3 acres in size and located adjacent to the new Hollywood Casino and Event Center. The Rock Run Collection planned unit development guidelines will require the developer to provide 1 parking space for each room in the proposed hotel. The applicant's concept plan shows 180 parking spaces. The subject property contains a 20-foot landscape buffer along the Gateway Boulevard frontage, a 25-foot utility and drainage easement at the property's southwest corner, a 15-foot utility easement along the eastern property line, and a 10-foot landscape buffer along the northern property line, thereby restricting the developable area of the subject property. For surrounding zoning, land use, and character, the subject property is surrounded by B2 General Business District zoning on all sides. Land to the property's north, south, and west is currently vacant and undeveloped. Land to the east, or land to the property's east, contains the Hollywood Casino and Event Center. For applicable regulations, we have section 47-15H 11, which is parking stall requirements. Then we have section 47-19-8, findings of fact supporting a variation. For discussion, the applicant seeks a variation to construct 180 by, the applicant seeks a variation to construct 180 9-foot by 18-foot parking stalls for a future hotel. The Rock Run Collection planned unit development guidelines allow 9-foot by 18-foot parking stalls for parking decks, such as those found in the nearby casino parking deck. Surface parking lots, such as the lot proposed by the applicant, must meet the city's standards for off-street parking spaces, which require a minimum of 180 square feet and 9 feet of width. While the city has recently upgraded its standards to require additional room for parking spaces, the proposed stall dimensions are common in commercial locations. The applicant has cited lot constraints that will minimize the amount of space that can be dedicated to parking stall size, and has further stated that the proposed stall size aligns with parking stall sizes at its other hotel properties. Given that there is precedent for the requested parking stall size, staff does not believe the requested variation will alter the essential character of the neighborhood. For suggested conditions, staff is recommending none, and that concludes staff's report.
Petitioner here. Do you swear that evidence you're about to present to be the truth under penalty of law?
I do.
Name and address.
Name is Jack Shelton with Drury. Our location is at the intersection of Sandstone and Gateway. Our headquarters is in St. Louis, Missouri. Nothing really further to add to the staff report. We come to seek the variation for the parking space sizes. If you're not familiar with Drury Hotels, we are a family-owned and operated hotel company. We have 150 locations in over 27 states. This is our re-entrance into the Chicagoland area, so we're excited to get started and have enjoyed working with staff to this point, and happy to answer any questions that you guys may have.
Any questions by the board?
At the end of the day, you can get a SUV or a minivan in these spaces pretty
Yes,
easily,
and
right?
so to note, our entire portfolio, we have 24,000 spaces. They are all 9x18, and we have no issues in other locations.
Any other questions? Anyone in the audience wish to speak in favor? Anyone opposed?
Say something.
Don't raise your hand. Chair closes the petition to the floor and asks the board for discussion and motion.
Motion to approve? Sorry, go ahead.
So moved.
He moved. Do we have a second for the record?
Sure.
We need a second.
Okay, we have a motion, a second to approve. Poll the board.
Mr. Noctree.
Aye.
Ms. Radakovich.
Aye.
Mr. Stiff.
Aye.
Chairman Hennessy.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you for your time. Thanks.
All right. Next on the agenda is old new business, not for final action or recommendation. We have none listed. Then next on the agenda is public comment. We have no one here. who- Okay, no one here to speak under public
Why
comment.
don't you guys make a comment, please?
Before we adjourn, I would like to introduce, we have another city planner. So Francisco Jimenez is joining Helen and Ray as our planning division, city planning staff. So he started on Monday and he'll be at our zoning board meetings and writing staff reports as well.
Excellent.
Welcome aboard.
You have my sympathy.
Yeah. All right, with that, we have adjournment.
Motion to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.